Beautiful. Doc, could you talk us through any potential changes to your team, please?
Yeah. So Erin won't play, and so there'll be obviously one change there, and we may make one other change as well. So probably two changes.
Will Erin play again before finals, do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, it's early days, obviously, but no, she's progressing really well. So I'd be moderately confident that that'll be the case.
Was she close, or is it just a no risk sort of areas, or is she sore? Or
yeah, we pretty much just decided early in the week that she wouldn't play. So yeah, I guess you could say that was a no risk approach. But yeah, obviously it was a reasonably concerning incident, but in the end it was a really good outcome, and we're really pleased that she'll be available pretty soon. And as soon as she is available, clearly we'll put her back in.
Was there a heart in mouth moment for you, or as a coach, can you ride those emotions during the game, or is it just a bit more practical to play on?
Yeah, well, right at the moment that it happened, I wasn't particularly concerned. I must say, I thought, yeah, because she took a great mark and pushed back off the mark, and so she looked like she was okay. And then obviously when she went into the rooms, then you sort of go, oh gosh, yeah, hopefully that's okay. So, but yeah, the game was still in motion, and so the focus was there.
And top of the table clash, is it? I mean, I suppose it's fair to say that this is your biggest test all year. What's been the message to the girls?
Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to what should be a great game. In terms of messaging, we've just, I guess, all along, we've tried to maintain our focus on the way that we prepare. And so the messaging has been more centered on that. It's an interstate trip, it's a big ground, and it'll be a hot day. So we've focused on making sure that we're doing everything right. Our training Wednesday was really sharp. So we're pleased with that. And we'll fly this afternoon. The players will be here in an hour or two, just for some really light touch. But essentially our physical preparation is pretty much done now. So we just got to get over there and go out and perform.
Excellent. Thank you, Doctor.
No worries, mate.
Liz, please.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, Doc. Just on Fremantle, if I've got this correct, given the quirks of the season, Fremantle have played exactly the same amount of games as you guys, but they haven't actually played since the 12th of February. So that's quite some rest that they're going to be coming off. Do you see that playing any kind of role at all?
Not particularly, I don't think. Obviously, they had a pretty tight schedule while they were over in Melbourne. They squeezed in that extra game. And therefore, yeah, they had last weekend off, which was probably a well-deserved rest for them. But in terms of the continuity of our season, we've had some tough opponents, but we've had fairly consistent run at it. So I think on balance, I don't know which one I prefer. Probably maybe our draw, to be fair.
And just on a few other injuries as well, Chelsea Randall not coming in this week.
No, but yes, she's certainly getting very close, and yeah, she's moving really freely, but she won't come in this week.
Stevie Lee Thompson, how's she?
Yeah, so that was a tricky call. She just got a little bit tight in the warm-up, and therefore we took a no-risk approach, but she trained fully on Wednesday. She had some scans which she got back just to make sure there wasn't anything untoward, but thankfully there was nothing to see. So it was just yeah, she just tightened a little bit, and with an abundance of caution, we didn't play her. So, but she's trained 100%, so she'll be ready to go.
She would come straight back into your side, would she?
Yeah, she's definitely one of our really important players, one of our leaders, and has played really consistently this year. I think Eloise Jones has been getting some attention, which is great. We love that. But if I looked at both of them playing, similar roles, they've both been, really consistent. So we'll be more than happy to welcome Stevie back.
And what about Brooke Tonin? What did you make of her first game? And do you see her getting another shot at AFLW?
Well,
level?
I think she's going to have a very long AFLW career on the basis of a really composed and just a steady performance from her first game, as she just looked at ease there, which was really pleasing. The reality is that we've got a really strong squad, so those players who are still finding their way and developing will always be on the edges of selection. But as I say, long term, she's got serious capabilities, and she's going to be a great player for us for a long time.
And sorry to ask, but what work's been done on the goal kicking this week?
Well, we did actually do a bit of goal kicking this week after kicking 5 goals, 15, but not a lot more than we normally do, to be honest. But on Monday, which is normally a lighter session, we gave over an extra 5 or 6 minutes to it. Normally we'd do probably about that much, and then we probably extended it out to sort of 12 or 13 minutes worth of goal kicking. Will that make the difference? Probably not. But what I would say is, everyone's working hard in that area. We are conscious of it, but equally, it's while it's a very important part of the game, there's some other pieces which are in pretty good shape that we're happy with, and we need to make sure we keep focusing on those as well.
Thanks, Doc.
No worries.
We'll go to Josh from 9 News.
Hey, Doc. You must be really pleased with the resilience of your group so far this season. Not so much COVID, but you had so many injuries as well to key personnel. The squad mentality that's been on display has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, we've had. I mean, obviously we had some COVID situations early, but fortunately, thus far we've only ever been in the realm of sort of 2, 3. I think against Carlton we had 4 come back against Carlton, so we must have had 4 out against Melbourne. But yeah, no, that hasn't been as significant for us as some other teams. But yeah, there's been the odd injury here and there, and we pretty much highlighted it at the start. I nearly said that word again. We highlighted at the start of the season that we were going to need great depth, and thus far what's been great has been that everyone that's come into the team has been able to fulfill their role and just play really well. So in round 1, selection was ridiculously hard, and it has been every week since, and that's been sort of borne out by the fact that when people have come into the team, they've looked ready to go at the level. So the fact that they've been missing is perhaps they've been unlucky.
Now, who stood up from a leadership point of view, and who will need to stand up now with Chelsea still out and Aaron out? I know Sarah Allen's done a lot of that down back, but have you been impressed with how some of your younger girls have grown in that space as well? Yeah,
well, I think obviously Sarah's captained all of the games that Chelsea hasn't played, and I think she's even won. Oh, I know Erin tossed the coin once, but she's doing all right in the coin tossing stuff. But then beyond that, yeah, clearly, I mean, one of the strengths of the group, not just this season, is that we've had a fair depth in that leadership space. So yeah, it's great to see. Obviously, Ebony came into the leadership group this year. We've already mentioned Eloise being part of that leadership group, and Stevie, who's comes back in this week, has also stepped into that space. But probably beyond that, MJ down back is a really vocal and strong leader for us. And I think even through down forward, we've probably at times had some younger, less experienced players, but Ash Woodland in her second year is playing that role of a vocal leader down there as well. So yeah, it's an important piece within the team, and we're in the fortunate position of having some depth in that space.
Ash got the leading goal kicker record in her sights. I think she's only a couple off the record. I'm sure you'll say it's not about that, but I think she's only maybe 2 off Darcy's record from last season. Now, I know it's not about individual.
What's the record? Sorry,
what is it? Is it 16?
Might
be 16 for a season, and she's 14 for a season.
Well, so every year we have more games, so I guess you'd hope that over the journey the record might continue to go up. Yeah, not a massive focus, to be honest. I think 2 of her better games that she played for us have played for us this season. She didn't score any goals, so it's great that she's doing really well. We're rapt for her, but I think what's really important for us is to just keep highlighting to her all of the great work that she's doing outside of kicking the goals. Yeah, clearly we wanted to do that, but we want to make sure that she's aware that we really value all of the contributions she's making out there.
And just lastly on Erin, do you have a sort of medical clarity on what's actually wrong? Because I guess a knee sprain is pretty broad in what it can be or the severity of it. Do you actually know what's actually wrong?
Yeah, well, I think it highlights. It's, I guess, if you sprained an ankle, it's that sort of an injury. So there's lots of pieces of the puzzle when you're talking about your knee joint, and similarly with when you sprain your ankle. But basically, what happens is the joint gets stirred up, and so so we just need to let that settle. So is that medical enough for you, or do you want more?
Well, no, that's fine. I guess there was just concern that it might be season ending, but
correct. Yeah, no, absolutely. Apologies. So ultimately, we sent her off to get scans with the primary concern. Clearly, ACLs are pretty much the main concern there, but 100% clear on that front. And then all of the other major ligaments we're in good shape as well. So, but that said, you can stir a joint up without having a major structural issue.
Great, thanks, Doc.
No worries.
Eliza Riley from the West Australian.
Greetings, Doc. We'll
Hi,
see you
Eliza.
in Perth later this Arvo.
Yes.
Got a few questions on, obviously, such a massive clash in the context of the season. Wanted to, the stars obviously across the park, but wanted to look specifically at the midfield. How do you sort of approach that battle? Is it a matter of looking at negating or just letting the best midfield win?
Yeah, well, I think you have to challenge Freo on both fronts, because clearly, they've got some unbelievably good players, and obviously Kiara coming back in off a couple of weeks with suspension is a massive in for them. A lot of her game is built off of her defense, and so in many ways that's a hard opponent to negate, because she obviously just tackles at such a level and then works really hard from contest to contest. What's been impressive for them has been they've added to their depth through there. So Dana East coming in has looked good. O'Sullivan has added a little bit here and there, and then obviously Hayley Miller as the captain has been really influential. So I think to target any particular one player would be potentially fraught with danger, because they've got depth, and then I haven't mentioned their wings, who are probably even more, not more, but equally significant in terms of Antonio and Kane. So and a really good ruck, really solid ruck in Strom. So they're good, and so we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great challenge. We've got some pretty handy players through that area of the ground, and in every game, that piece of the puzzle is a really significant one, whoever can get on top. So, but in terms of the strategy or the tactics of it, it's when they've got it, we'll defend hard. When we've got it, we'll attack hard. So that's the plan.
Are you expecting a finals type atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it'll be a great game. I think you look at, as we've just sort of talked through the midfield, but then at either end, both sides have got players in good form. So when you get that situation, then all things being equal, it shapes up as a pretty good contest. And anytime you get those fierce competitors that we've highlighted, then the game is going to have some intensity, which may well replicate a finals game.
And how do you think you're sort of placed to achieve what I'm sure is in the back of your mind to achieve this year?
Are you talking about finals?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. We want to play finals. Absolutely, we want to make it, and we've put ourselves in a good position to be able to qualify. We probably need one more win to make a certainty of that. So we'd love to be able to do that this weekend, but we'll wait and see. It's there's still a fair way to go. I reckon there's going to be a lot to play out, and if you look at the top, I guess the top 8 sides are still well in the hunt, and it's very even. All the games that have come up, when those teams have come up against each other, have been high quality. So a long way to go.
And just lastly from me, obviously the ladder, the actual makeup of the ladder is still sort of up for debate as well. Is that sort of in the back of your mind, thinking of the significance of this game and getting a home final?
Well, not particularly. As I said, we want to qualify for finals. That's going to be the first challenge. And, you know, if we can do it this week, you beauty, we'll be really happy. But, you know, once we've done that, then we'll sort of see where we land. But yeah, the priority is just to be one of the 6 that get to run around in finals. That's a big step in itself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Thanks, Annie. Hi, Doc. Just a quick one from me on Caitlin Gould. She won Mark of the Year nomination this year. How have you seen her growth this season?
Yeah, I thought first and foremost, I thought it was a great mark. And sometimes you get lucky with the camera angle and sometimes unlucky. I don't know if the camera angle did it justice. That was a genuinely good clunk in a pack situation. So anyway, that's byline. But the broader issue of how she's playing really well. I thought her round 1 game was really significant and important. She missed with a concussion, very mild concussion in round 3, I think it was. But yeah, she's been really consistent. And I think for us, what's been great is her ability to play, obviously ruck, but also to play some minutes in the forward line and to have an impact in that area. So that's we're really pleased with her season and how it's progressing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all from me today.
Thank you.
Danny?
Hey Doc, how you going?
Yeah, well.
That's good. It's obviously Indigenous round this weekend, and you guys have worn the Indigenous Guernsey in every clash. I'm just wondering why the club has chosen to do this and why it's important to highlight the Indigenous achievements of your club. Yeah, well, we're rapt to have our Indigenous Guernsey also as our away strip, because it means we get to wear it all the time, and it's a pretty flash one. It stands out on the park. And I think it's so every week we wear it, we get to sort of acknowledge and celebrate that rich history that we have as a club in terms of the contribution of our Indigenous players over the journey. But yeah, particularly this round, obviously when the whole league takes the moment and celebrates, and I'm pretty sure we're going to wear it again for that following home game, so that we can do some activations at our home game, which I know a lot of the clubs are keen to do when the draw doesn't shake out in your favour and you don't get to celebrate those moments for your home games. So I just think it's just such an important thing for us to do as a club, but as a community, just to increase awareness and to highlight the fact that there's such a proud history there connected to our game. I think it's one of the areas that where as a community we've probably done it better than in other spaces, perhaps, is the way that the footy and the AFL have highlighted what a significant contribution our Indigenous people make to Australia, but to footy in particular. Yeah, it's been a pretty popular design this year as well. It sold out a couple of weeks ago. It's probably not your department, but do you know if you're getting any more stock in? I think it's hard to get stuff shipped in at the moment. I think stock in all forms of apparel, etc., is a bit of a tricky space. But yeah, like I know often we redesign over subsequent seasons, but that one is a cracker. So hopefully we might hang on to it and get a few more shipped in. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just to close focus on this game and your constant battles with Freo, it's always a good battle when you come up against them. What do you look forward to or enjoy when you play against them? Yeah, well, I think we spoke earlier about that midfield battle. And I think, one of the great challenges of Fremantle is that they're potent, so they can score in quick bursts. So regardless of the status of the game, that they've got the capacity to come at you really quickly. So that just means that your concentration and your focus and the way you play has to be on from minute 1 to the final siren. So that just presents a great challenge, and the type of games that you want to be involved in, basically. So we don't know how this one's going to shake out, but all things being equal, you'd imagine it's going to be tight and fiercely contested. So I guess that's what we look forward to. It's that being part of a really good contest, which I think this one will be. Sure. And a bit of a cheeky one, but I saw that Zoe Prowse hasn't been named for Sturt this week. Will she potentially be getting a look in this weekend?
Yeah, she. I don't know when I'm meant to announce these things, but she's not going to play at this point. She'll travel with us as our emergency, but her form in the SANFLW has been really, really strong, and so I'm really keen to see what she can do at the level. But yeah, clearly the team balance and the team that's performing takes priority over that. So. Once again, a bit similar to Brooke, we just see a really bright future for her, and we're really confident that she's going to become a great player long term. At the moment, she's having to bide her time, which is perhaps a touch frustrating, but she's just doing everything right. So we're really wrapped with how she's going.
So it's more of she's pretty close to the mark, but there's just such a solid squad that it's making it hard to find a spot.
Yeah, as I said, I said earlier, as we've brought players into the team, invariably they've performed really well. So, and I'm really confident that when Zoe gets her chance, that she'll be in that same bracket. She's, you can judge a fair bit out of training form, and then also her form in the SANFL, and both those have been top notch. So yeah, she's ready to roll. We just got to hopefully find an opportunity for her at some stage.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries.
Madeline from the Inner Sanctum.
Hi, Doc. I just wanted to ask, so obviously Ebony's been collecting accolades as she goes each week, but what's impressed you the most is watching her as a player? Yeah, I think, I don't know where it was, but I said, since I've been involved, I'm pretty sure she hasn't missed a training session of any type, which is phenomenal, really, when you consider that durability and work ethic, ultimately. And so everything that comes her way is not by chance. She's fully deserving of any accolade she receives, because she just works extremely hard on her game and on her physical conditioning in order to be able to compete consistently. And she's also got a level of resilience which drives her to push through when it's tough. So that's been the most impressive thing, and also just her desire and want to get better. So I think she acknowledges she's not the perfect player yet, but she's constantly finding the next thing that she wants to work on to improve her game, which is really admirable. And is there anything that surprised you or impressed you about her since you've taken over as coach? Well, she's got a fairly large personality, so I was aware of her before I took over as coach. So nothing's really surprised me. But she's a very good cook. She's very adept she loves cooking up a storm for the other players. So I probably didn't know that before I took over as coach, and that's that's impressive. Thanks, Doc. All right.